So in this video, we're going to be thinking about what we know already about proportional relationships and about the constant of proportionality, meaning like how much it's changing by each time. And we're going to solve some mysteries. So we are going to be determining sort of some missing values in a relationship that we know is proportional or constant. We can sort of use some data that we have or a ratio that we have to find others. So in this example here, we have the amount of money that Ben spends on books is proportional. So we know that it's constant, changing in a constant manner to the number of books that he purchases. We're going to answer these questions to find the mysteries, right? So we have a mystery here and we have a mystery here. I'm just putting random letters there to show our mystery. So in this case here, we are trying to first determine what the constant of proportionality is. What is the rate? What's it changing by? In other words, we could think of a diva, right? A familiar concept in a ratio we're given. What did we do to this 5 to turn it into a 45? Well, we multiplied it by 9, right? So the constant, we call it a K, the constant is or is equal to, is represented by an equal sign mathematically, 9. How much do 2 books cost then? Well, we know that if it's constant, if it's a constant rate, we're simply going to multiply it by the same thing, right? We're going to multiply it by 9. So 2 books are going to cost $18. If Ben then spent 72 bucks, how many books did he purchase? Well, we're going to do the opposite, right? The inverse operation, we call it. The opposite operation to undo multiplication is division. So we're going to divide our 72 by 9. And we could test that by saying, well, what's 18 divided by 9? Do we get 2? Yes, we do. 45 divided by 9, do we get 5? Yes, we do. So it can go either way depending on the information you start with. So 72 divided by 9 is going to get us 8. So he bought 8 books. All right. Go ahead and pause here, make your notes match, and also think about what questions are remaining for you. You can go ahead and jot any questions or notes to yourself sort of over here in this open section. So then down here, we're essentially saying what we were doing in our pictures, right? Once we have the constant, and we know that the constant in this case was 9, right? That's K. Once you find the constant proportionality, in order to, you can blank to go from the first quantity, in this case, your X, your books, to your second quantity, the cost. In this case, you could multiply. If you're given, you could multiply. If you're given the multiply. If you are given the X in theory to solve for the Y, you can multiply. If you're given the cost, in this case, the output, the Y, in order to start, like we did with our 72, we can divide in order to determine the cost. And in this case, we divided by 9. So you can divide. Divide. All right. So again, think about what kind of questions you might have. You can start making a list so that when we check in, you can get them